Canada will not be going to the polls for a snap federal election this fall after the Liberal minority government survived a confidence vote in the House of Commons this afternoon.
Matt Ingram is following the story. Matt, you're in studio. Can you tell us what happened?
Taz, it was a very controversial afternoon. The MPs voted on a Conservative Party motion to create a special committee to examine Liberal ethics and spending during the pandemic, including the controversial contract with We Charity to administer a student grant program. That motion was defeated 180 to 146, with the NDP and Green Party voting to prop up the Liberals. Now, in a controversial move, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had decided to make the vote a confidence issue. And that means that the Liberals, if they lost the vote, Canadians would go to the polls. Trudeau and Conservative leader Erin O'Toole faced off over the motion and the potential election ahead of the vote during question period. The Conservatives repeatedly asked Trudeau if he had consulted with health officials about the risk of holding an election during the pandemic, a question he did not answer, stating that he had full confidence in Elections Canada to conduct a safe election. Take a look at some of the back and forth between the two.
Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister put the health and well-being of Canadians first today? Will he rise in this House and undertake not to force a general election before public commentary and opinion from Dr. Tam and Elections Canada?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the choice is up to the opposition parties, Mr. Speaker. They moved a motion that is clearly not in confidence of the government. They have decided that they no longer want to work constructively in this House to deliver for Canadians. It is their choice, Mr. Speaker.
The result is not surprising, according to McMaster political analyst Peter Graff, who says the NDP didn't want to fight an election. Leader Jagmeet Singh said earlier in the day he would not give Trudeau an excuse to have an election in the middle of a pandemic.
And so the fact that they decided to stand down and have the motion be defeated makes sense. In the bigger picture, it strikes me as a completely unnecessary conflict between the Liberals and the Conservatives, both showing no capacity to compromise, and so playing a game of brinkmanship, which I suspect leaves most Canadians pretty cold.